Now, what's your belief system? And the reason we taught you Hakalao, first of all, is that if you have an emotional response somewhere during this program, go into Hakalao. Take a deep breath. Ground yourself. Go out, go out, go out, go out, go out. Stand up and walk around and get out of that funk, right? And then come back to the lesson. However, let's get back to belief system. Whose? Yours. Do you believe in God, Jesus, Buddha, universal consciousness, something greater than yourself? So when a person believes in something greater than themselves, even if it's their own internal wisdom, then that's really good. We can really help you. So if you believe in God or Jesus, you have to believe that you have a part of universal consciousness, God, Jesus, inside of you. Yeah. So imagine that being represented with a bowl of light. So there's a bowl of light within each of us. That's our connection to God, Jesus, universal consciousness, Buddha, whoever you believe greater than yourself. At least our connection to our own internal wisdom. And as we move through life, we tend to pick up stuff. You can imagine stuff like being stones or rocks just piled up on your bowl of light. What are these stones? What are these rocks? And sometimes they're bigger than others, And of course, they're connected. What are these stones? What are these rocks? They're actually memories. Memories with negative emotions around them. Because when you think about who you are, who are you? You're an accumulation of your experiences or your memories. And you use your experiences and your memories to create your strategies, your behaviors, how you do something. Positive memories, you create positive strategies, positive behaviors, positive how you do something. Memories with negative emotions around them, you tend to create the strategy based on the emotion. Oftentimes it's not serving you. Especially if the emotion around the memory is anger, sadness, fear, hurt, guilt, fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of abandonment, fear of being undeserving, fear of being unworthy. We go as far as to say that if you have negative emotions around the memory, you cannot get the learnings, the true essence of the learnings within the memory. Why? Because every time you try to access the memory to get the learnings, you have to go through the negative emotions. And it at least distorts the memory of the learnings within it. So how do you get the learnings? The true essence of the learnings within the memory. Quite easy. Hawaiian style. It's really an indigenous concept. Release the negative emotions around the memories. Then the memory can make sense. One of our kupuna, Antimona Simeona, said if a person is experiencing stress today, it doesn't matter what area in their life, if they're experiencing stress today, if they would look carefully, they'd find that it's related to a memory. And it's the emotion, the trauma around the memory that's causing the stress. So, if that's the case, how do you get the learnings? The true essence of the learnings within the memory. Keeping it simple, Hawaiian style, just release the negative emotions around the memory. Then the memory can make sense. Clearly seen in a phobia. What is a phobia? Phobia is an inappropriate response to a stimuli, to something. You know you shouldn't be afraid of something, but you are. The most extreme phobia we ever came across was a lady, a native healer too, who was afraid of snakes. How afraid? If she'd seen a real snake, she would pass out for a couple hours. If she'd seen a picture of a snake, she'd pass out for a couple hours. Then her daughter, thinking she was funny, drew a snake on a napkin and said, "Mom, what about this?" Passed out for a couple hours. It's an incredible behavior when you think about it. So when we helped her, and by the way, when I tell you how she created the phobia, I believe you're going to think that it's quite possible. But once we helped her let go of the negative, the phobia, we asked her to check it out. It says, we want you to test it. So we asked her hey, watch Anaconda. That's what came to my mind. And make sure that you're safe. We wanted to make sure that somebody else puts your video in for you. And she comes back a couple of days later and talks to my partner. Says, oh, I watched Anaconda. That's a stupid movie. And shortly after that, she's seen a real snake and things. And we feel real free in telling this story because she's told the story to others when we were there. So, and that was, I think, over 10 years ago now. And shortly after that, again, she saw real snakes and things. However, once we helped her clear it, I was kind of curious because this is the most extreme phobia we ever came across. I asked, so Carol, do you remember when you created this phobia? I remember exactly. Here's where we conflict a little bit. I thought she said 7 initially, but now she says 12, so like, I'll use 7 like I did. 7 years old, fishing at night with her ohana on Molokai, an island in the Hawaiian Islands, where her uncle thought he would be funny. Yeah, figure this out. He thought it would be funny and caught an eel and stuck it down her shirt. Didn't want her to get hurt, so cut that head off the eel first, then stuck it down her shirt. And her shirt was tucked in. So she just went screaming into the night on the reef. You're not sure what she was thinking, but it was probably something like this. I am never, ever going to feel this level of fear again. What can I do? I don't know. I think I'm just going to check out. How long? A couple hours should do it. Did it work well? It worked very well at 7, not so much at 17. As time goes by, real snake, like poo, same, I'm out. To a picture. A part of it has to be going, come on, a picture can't hurt me. But the younger part says, yeah, but let's just be safe. To a squiggly line on a napkin. And the reason we bring this up is the same way you would release a phobia is the same way you would release anger, sadness, fear, hurt, guilt, fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of abandonment, fear of being undeserving, fear of being unworthy. Resolving conflicts with people, places, and things, including self and spirit. And let's not forget values. Aligning your values. Releasing negative emotions related to your value words that you have on that sheet. Love, trust, honesty, support, communication, commitment, respect. We're talking about negative emotions. Anger, sadness, fear, hurt, guilt. Are negative emotions good or bad? All emotions serve a positive intention. The negative emotions set your boundaries and let you know something's not right. Because if you never got angry, people would take advantage of you. If you didn't have any fear, you'd be one of two things. Either an enlightened one, like let's say the Dalai Lama, or not in this world very long. How long could you last doing stupid things? However, holding on to negative emotions in the mind, body, and or spirit, is that ever any good? Olehiki, absolutely not. Why not? Because we think it weakens the body. It physically weakens the body. Actually, we think it weakens the mind, body, spirit, and soul. But we think it definitely weakens the body. So think about that. Do you agree with that or not? What we like to do is prove it to the person. So how do we do that? Muscle testing. That's why it was so important to allow you to learn how to muscle test yourself. Today we have somebody with me, a good friend of mine, Mimo, and she's going to be our demo subject and throughout the day. And be able to, later on when we create a clearing vortex for you guys, it'll be real clean because Mimo's pretty clean, energetically. So let's do the muscle testing thing right now. Mimo?